I just got a DJI Air 3. Now I know that the Air 3S is out, so why did I get the Air 3 and not the Air 3S? And do I plan on getting the Air 3S? Well, we're going to explore all of that throughout this video, and I'm also going to take this guy for its maiden voyage and see what it can do. Let's get into it. I'm at this beautiful location here. I've got a lake, there's a temple on the hill, the sun is going to set around that temple. It's going to look absolutely stunning. But let's get into a bit of the meat of this video before I actually send this thing up in the sky. So let's just talk about the fact I've never actually owned a DJI Air series drone or a Mavic Pro series drone. I've always owned one of the mini drones. Now, I've had experience flying the Air series and Mavic Pro series drones, but I've never actually owned one myself. Now, the main reason for that is because of just the size and weight of these guys. Because I do an awful lot of traveling and basically I'm traveling all the time, having a drone this big is actually going to be quite cumbersome, especially when there's the mini drones. They're just so much easier to live and travel with. So I never really bothered with getting an Air series drone or a Mavic Pro series drone, especially when the Mini 4 Pro came out, because the video quality from that guy is honestly so good. I just didn't see the need to get one of these. The big red fire truck goes past. Now, that's not to say that I haven't often wanted one of these. Now, I've often wanted the extra focal lengths that come along with obviously the Air 3 and the Mavic Pro and the Air 3S now, but I haven't really felt that it sort of overweighed the sacrifice of having a bigger drone when traveling. But now it's at the point where I'm traveling with 4 drones anyway, so what difference does a 5th actually make, considering I have like 2 suitcases, carry-ons and all sorts of stuff. So does it really make that much difference when you're already carrying so many drones? Probably not. So why did I get the Air 3? Well, DJI actually sent me this for coming second in the DJI Academy competition. Now, it wasn't like an easy competition. I put in a lot of hard work in order to come in the top 3, and my Air 3 is my prize for that. And as those of you who have been following these videos up to now, it's out of customs, it's in my hand, and we're about to give it its first flight. Now, because the Air 3S was sort of released just before my prize was sort of sent to me, I was also wondering, should I just get it, sell it, and then upgrade to the Air 3S? Now, I did weigh this up a lot, and I was seriously thinking about it, but then after looking at sort of the videos of the Air 3S and all that kind of stuff and weighing up the hassle of selling one and buying one, especially here in Thailand, where if you're not going to be living in Thailand, it's a bit of a hassle to try and buy and sell a drone in Thailand, I decided to just keep the Air 3. And the difference in video quality between the 3 and the 3S isn't massive. I know the Air 3S does have that now 1-inch sensor, but it's not like the video quality coming out of this guy is bad. So yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the Air 3, and I am also eyeing up the Mavic 4 Pro for when that comes out next year. So maybe that's something I'm going to consider upgrading from the Air 3 to the Mavic 4 Pro. Now, I don't want to keep talking and let the sun set without us getting some cool shots. So I'm going to get this guy up in the sky and I'm going to give you some initial thoughts, and we're going to have a bit of a play with it and see what we can do. Now, one thing, I have absolutely no idea what ND I'm going to need in this situation, so I might just go without an ND just for ease of use. But yeah, let's get it up in the air, see what he can do. Okay, so we've just launched him up in the sky. Now I'm just going to change all of my camera settings because, like I said, this is the first time we're flying this guy, so we need to get our camera settings right. Make sure we're in D-Log-M, 4K 30. Magical. Okay, now looking on the screen, first impressions, this looks absolutely stunning. Now, we still have basically the same sensors I've been using on the Mini 4 Pro on this Air 3, but the lens is different, and yeah, so let's just have a look and see what this guy can do. So I'm going to film a few clips, and yeah, just make a little sequence for you, and then I'll give you some initial thoughts on the Air 3. I tell you what, the battery life here is impressive. I've been flying for I don't know how long, but it's a long time. The sun has completely set and we're still going strong. We've still got 35% and 11 minutes remaining. That is one of the benefits of a bigger drone. With a bigger drone, you get a bigger battery, and with a bigger battery, you get a longer flight time. Okay, so we're back now with the Air 3, and it's time for me to give you my first impressions. Now you have to bear with me, the red fire truck has decided to pull up right next to me. So, but first impressions, obviously it's a very impressive drone. Now, the thing I'm most impressed with is that 70mm zoom camera, because it's basically using the same sensor and all that good stuff. And it's something that I just haven't had in my arsenal throughout my sort of day-to-day use. The main camera obviously looks fantastic, but for me it's not like a huge step up from the Mini 4 Pro. It's very similar looking camera because basically it's almost the same camera. So yeah, that 70mm lenser, that's what's going to come in really handy for me in the future. Now, I still have to question whether it's going to be worth taking this out every time just for that additional lens, because it's quite a big drone to carry. If I'm only taking this and an FPV drone, then it's probably going to be absolutely fine. That 70mm is juicy, but yeah, I can see why I keep going back to just having the Mini, because as juicy as it is, it's a big sacrifice to carry something this big. But I am very impressed with this drone. I'm definitely going to be taking it out and flying it more often. Now, when it comes to this and the Air 3S, what are my thoughts on whether you should upgrade if you've already got this, or whether if you're buying something the first time, what you should actually go and get? Now, if you already have the Air 3, then I probably don't recommend you go out and upgrade to the Air 3S. Yes, you do have that bigger 1-inch sensor on the main camera, so you're going to get a slightly better image there, and also you get more up-to-date image processing, LiDAR, and there's a few other bells and whistles that do come along with that 3S. But if you already have the Air 3, I'm not sure whether it's actually worth making the jump, because although the upgrades are nice, unless you're somebody that really needs to and wants to have the latest and greatest features, then you're probably going to be absolutely fine just sticking with your Air 3. Now, if it's going to be your first Air series drone, you're getting your first bigger drone, then of course you might as well just go and buy the Air 3S. It's the most up-to-date, it's got the most features, and if you're buying new, you might as well just go and buy that one. So what are my closing thoughts on this guy? Well, first off, it's not as loud as I thought it was going to be. I always associate big drones with being really noisy. This was actually pretty quiet for its size, very stable. It's actually a really fast drone. I was quite surprised at that. It really does get a move on when you're shifting through the air. And yeah, it handled really nicely. The transmission was fine. I've got the RC2 controller going with it. I did come with the RCN2, but I upgraded to the RC2. But yeah, I mean, the main thing for me is that zoom lens, absolutely amazing. I am going to be using it just because of that. So yeah, I think it will definitely be coming out with me on more trips. And yeah, I guess the Mini 4 Pro is going to be getting a break from time to time. So the Air 3, first impressions, first flight, really impressed so far. It's a low light environment as it is. I haven't had a chance to take it out before this because I've been waiting for all my paperwork to come through and all that good stuff. But it's here, we tested it, I'm impressed. If you don't have an Air 3 and you fancy getting a good deal on one, get a second-hand one, still a good drone. This was my first flight of the Air 3, really enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy whatever drone you're flying, whether that's Air 3, Air 3S, Mini, or whatever. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.